Hello. So I have first spectator for today. Which country are you from? Can you hear me and see well? India. Okay, nice to meet you. So, hello from Poland. Okay, dobry wieczór. Yes. Okay. So for today, I will explain games 15 and 16 from the match Alekhine Euwe from 1935. The score between game 15 was equal because Alekhine lost game 14. So in game 15, Alekhine is white and played d4. d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, so Slav defense, knight c3, d takes c4, a4. Classical choice, although in modern chess there is popular line to play e4 here. And after b5, bishop e2. And for example, we can consider very interesting game between Boris Gelfand and Sergei Movsesyan. It was e6 here. Played Sergei Movsesyan. Also bishop g4 is possible. So after e6, a4 played Boris Gelfand, b4, e5, takes on c3, takes on f6, takes on b2. Yes, Geller gambit, but Geller played after b5, e5, knight d5, a4. It's another possible line. I also played this line with white against Cuban Grandmaster Jesus Nogueiras. So c takes b2, f takes g7, b takes a1, queen takes. Four queens on the board. Queen a5, check. Knight d2, c3, castle. C takes, bishop takes. So in this position, black is fine, and Movsesyan took on a4, which is not the best choice in this position. The best choice is queen f5. Very natural move to protect h7 pawn. So if bishop h6 or bishop b4, black has knight d7, but only problem that d5 is possible, and here it's very important to find the best move for black. So I'm curious if spectators has idea which move can be best. Are there any proposition from chat how to play with black? Bishop a6, no, bishop a6 is hardly good idea because after bishop b4, black is in big trouble. After knight d7, white can take the bishop, so bishop a6 is not correct. Bishop 5, it's not allowed according to rules because bishop is under pin. King e7, bishop check. Okay, so I will explain. Black cannot take the pawn because if this bishop b5 is extremely unpleasant, and if this pawn taking also bishop b4 and rook e1, it's also very unpleasant for black. But correct move is queen g6. Idea to prepare queen g7, and now black is okay. So queen g6 is the best move in this position. Well, but let's come back to the game. So Alekhine played a4, natural move, and after bishop f5, usually in this match knight e5 was played, and this line were main discussion. But Alekhine played knight h4, Euwe responded with bishop c8, although bishop d7 is another interesting line. The problem, however, after bishop d7, white can play e4, e6, bishop takes c4, knight takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop b4 check, king f1, queen takes h4, queen f3. Now white has very, very good compensation against the pawn, and bishop on d7 is not in good position because not allow to knight go to d7, and at the moment black has problem with bishop g5 threat. If, for example, f5, knight g5, queen takes d4, white can play queen b3 or queen e2 with very strong initiative. Black cannot protect e6 successfully. Thanks for substitution. So bishop c played so d takes e4 played Alekhine, and this is not the theory according to the best for e4. After e takes bishop e7, Tal played against Kasparov, so many games was played back, ended with draw. But okay, they played pawns. Internet connection. Okay, I can wait a few minutes. Please write me when everything will be okay. Can somebody write that everything is okay? Okay, I hope now will be okay. Isn't it? What about now? Okay, so it seems to be better. And Max Euwe played bishop b4 check. Correct idea. Bishop d2 is only logical because if knight c3, knight e4 is very unpleasant for white. So bishop d2, bishop takes d2, king takes d2, knight e4 check, king e1. So black is good in this position. Has a good choice. Euwe played bishop e6, quite natural move, but also possible, in my opinion, was to play b5, just to activate pawns queen's flank. And main idea can be if white takes, black can take. After b3, black can just wait. For example, a5 is possible. If b takes c4 to play b4, and then knight goes to c5. Capture material. I don't know how to use this function. Now black has excellent position. Knight will go to c5, and two passed pawn are extremely dangerous. Maybe not 3 immediately, but anyway, black can use same idea. Play this, play b4. Also, white has extra pawn, but black has excellent play because white has 3 a4, c4, and e5 are weak pawns. But okay, choice of Max Euwe also is very logical. f4, played Alekhine. Knight a6. Knight a6, logical move. Black wants to play knight b4 somehow, or knight c5. But another logical plan, in my opinion, was knight b7. If knight f2, for example, same in the game, black can just take and play f6. Eliminate this pawn. It's quite a good position. Black wants to take f5, hardly good for white. Bishop d5, e6. Black can play knight e5 or knight c5. So in very good with very good position. If e takes f6, knight takes f6, black has many good ideas. Knight e4 or knight g4 or long castles. Hello. But okay, knight a6, nothing wrong. Of course, knight f2 played Alekhine. So black has a good position and big choice in each move. So now knight ec5 was possible, but okay, not so sure because e4 is coming. So white wants to play f5, but it's big question how strong white's position at all. For example, black can start knight b4. So knight c2 is unpleasant threat after castle. Castle is impossible, sorry. King is moved already. So knight b4, so white should play something else, maybe rook c1 or rook d1, because knight c2 is very unpleasant threat. But in that case, a4 pawn is hanging. Okay, rook c1 white can try, but black can just take, for example. If bishop takes c4, knight takes b2, even possible. If f5, just bishop d7, looks like black is totally fine here. Also was possible to play something like g5 and b5, or maybe immediately b5. So b5 after rook c1 to play b5. If f5, just bishop d7, it looks like black has stronger plays than white, because these pawns in queen's flank are stronger than white pawns in the centrum, and obviously black pieces are coordinated much better than white ones, because knight on h4 is a little bit out of place. So knight ec5 was very logical decision in my opinion, and I think only black can be better here. Okay, maybe white can play knight f3 with idea to prepare knight d4. So probably this is a better solution, but anyway, I think black should be fine. For example, knight b4 is possible. If knight d4, knight b3, it's possible. So white is in some trouble somehow. So knight ec5 was interesting move which deserved attention, but Euwe took on f2. It's possible. King takes f2. Long castle. Okay, normal move, but also totally normal move was knight c5 to prepare. So instead of long castle, black can consider plan king e7, rook h d8, and then b5, and after a b c b, his pawn on a7 will be protected. So it's easy to see that the opening wasn't good for Alexander Alekhine in this game. So he is suffering, and only black can pretend for advantage here. But only problem for Euwe that in each move he has quite a big choice. So it's not easy to play if you have so many good moves. So he played castle, knight f3, knight c5, bishop e2. So this position, knight d3 played Max Euwe. Again, this move is better, so black can play knight e4 check simply. c3 is also possible. So again, black has quite a big and good choice. But okay, knight d3 played Max Euwe, and now Alekhine decide not take on d3. Probably he afraid that rook will take. C takes d3 also possible, but less clear in my opinion, because knight d4 is coming, and then white will try to attack d3 pawn. If c5, rook ac1 is possible. Hello. So I think rook takes d3 plan of Max Euwe. Of course, position is unclear. It's complicated endgame. White can play, for example, rook h e1 with idea to prepare rook e2. Okay, so both has his trumps. So I would prefer to play knight ec5 instead of exchange of knights, or to play without long castle. But okay, Alekhine played knight g3. He decided to give the pawn. Tivyakov endgames. From which game of Tivyakov? What do you mean? Microphone is on maximum. I cannot improve it. I can sit more close to the camera only. What do you mean? Which end game? Which Tivyakov end game you mean? Okay, no answer. So knight takes b2 took Max Euwe. Now he has chance to have a lot of passed pawns. Knight d4 played Alekhine. And rook takes d4. Brave decision. Okay. In general, Tivyakov, but okay, against whom Tivyakov? I cannot see, yes. Okay, so Alekhine played knight d4, so his idea probably to play rook ac1 and then take on e6, take on c4, something like this. Bishop d5, probably he wants to play knight f5 and penetrate on d6 somehow, although it's very far from clear, but Max Euwe just took on d4. He gave exchange. Very brave decision, but a logical one. d8. So at the moment, black has pawn against exchange, and they want to take d4 pawn. If, for example, rook hb1, of course, black will not play c3, because after rook c1 they are losing this important pawn. So, although maybe not so clear, just maybe even a5 is possible. Very difficult to protect this pawn, because if knight a4 is possible. Чи ми таки їдемо на командний чемпіонат світу? Я не знаю, кожен день ситуація міняється. Я надіюся, що все-таки поїдемо. Але кожен день міняється ситуація. І так бути в чомусь впевненим, ну, мені тяжко. Поки що. So maybe even c3 is possible, but more logical looks knight d3, and white cannot protect his pawn on d4, because if takes, if rook b4, black has a5 and rook takes d4. So king f2, played Alekhine, rook takes d4, king e3, c5. So black has 2 pawns against exchange, and they pawns round 3 against Rahul. You mean Tivyakov against Rahul? Okay, I will write 2018 Tivyakov Rahul. I didn't see this game. Which opening? But okay, you are interested with endgame. Okay, I will check this game. 2018 Groningen. Groningen. Okay. So c5 he played. Black wants to make some progress in queen's flank to push their pawns, and for white is not. Rook hd1. Okay, after rook hd1, black will just have 2 pawns up and win in position. So it's not a good idea. Alekhine played rook a2. It looks like he wants to prevent c3, and also he wants to prevent knight d3. Again, black has a big choice, because white has no threats here. So black can do many things. For example, just king c7 is possible move, or b6 even. Idea, if rook b1, knight d3, and white cannot take twice on d3, because bishop f5 check is coming. Or king c7, just improve the king. It's also possible. Maybe also bishop d5 is possible, with idea to prepare rook e4 check. But now, however, rook b1 is possible, because after knight d3, white can take already. So bishop is not on e6, and black has no motive. Rook takes d3 check, and bishop f5. So after rook e4 check, king f2 is, and black cannot take on f4, because after king g3, 2 pieces are hanging, and black is losing material. So bishop f5 was choice of Max Euwe, logical choice, because he is preparing knight d3, g4, bishop e4, rook f1, bishop c6. Now he's attacking a5 pawn, a4 pawn, and in some moment also rook e4 can be quite unpleasant threat. If bishop f3, white has some tactical problems. Black can just take. If king takes, knight d3 is unpleasant. If rook takes, well, knight d3 is possible as well, but c3 is very attractive, and white cannot take the pawn because knight d1 check. So what to do with this pawn? Knight c4 is also a very unpleasant threat. So Alekhine played a5. And now Euwe played knight d3. I'm not sure that this is a necessary move in this position. Again, I don't see what white wants sound up. Okay, I cannot do anything with my sound. So king c7 looks like logical waiting move. But okay, he played knight d3, very concrete move. Same idea, geometrical idea, so white cannot take twice. It's quite easy because after bishop b5 they are just losing, and the black has unpleasant threat to play rook e4. Rook c3, white is playing. They are attacking pawn c4. Rook e4 check, king d2. Knight takes f4, bishop c4. So what is this? Now white rooks became more active. So g5 looks logical to defend the knight, but in that case white can take on f7. If rook takes e5, rook e1 to exchange this rook. Black cannot avoid exchange of rook because if bishop is 4, rook is 3. So after this b6. I don't know how to evaluate this position. Probably it's approximately equal after king d2. Okay, but Max Euwe played rook d4 check, king c2, bishop e4 check. King b3, g5, bishop takes f7, b6. So white won the pawn, but very important for black that they avoided exchange of rooks. So, and now black pieces are very well coordinated. Uh, they have very strong knight on d3 or on f4. e6 it's not dangerous for black because they have always king d8. Aha, Asvat Stivikov. Asva Tiviakov. Okay, I will check. Thank you. So Alekhine played king a3. Bishop d5 is also possible, yes, but black has so nice pieces, so I would prefer king d8 and king e7. So I like these three pieces: rook, bishop, and knight in this position. Anyway, black will take pawn e6 later, but king on e7 will be much better than on c8. So this is my opinion about this position. King a3 played Alekhine. King d7, bishop b3. King c6, not only move, but understandable move, because now black wants to play b5. Rook c4. So white wants to exchange rooks, because without exchange of rooks, it's very difficult to play for white in this position. So rook c4, rook takes c4, bishop takes c4, b5. Good evening. But black has passed pawn and they want to activate them. Bishop f7, c4. Also b4 is a reasonable alternative, but c4 played Max Euwe, so he wants to play king c5 and b4. Such a plan. After b4, I don't know, maybe even king a4 is possible. With bishop c2, bishop b3. At the moment, black cannot push their pawns immediately. But who knows? For example, check, bishop b3, we can take, and king b5, and black is ready for c4. If rook c1, knight d3 is extremely unpleasant, and very important that after e6, black is taken with check, and then king c6 is just winning. So, okay, probably king b2 is more precise choice. What is this? Difficult to say, definitely. Very complete. Knight d3 probably. And then just take on e5. So white king should go somewhere. Maybe also king b3, however. It's possible. Maybe king b3 is more precise. Yes, maybe king b3 was move which afraid Max Euwe. So he played c4, logical decision to prepare king c5. And very important point. Okay, rook e1 doesn't work here because before check. It's a very important point. Before king a4, bishop c2, and bishop d3. Yes, you are right. This is strong. Yes, black is just winning. So king a4 is blunder, surely. Okay, so after b4, king b3. That's correct, thank you. So king b3 is correct, and situation is not clear. So king a4 is blunder, you are totally right. But king b3 is correct. Okay, so c4 is very important point that after rook e1, black has b4 check. And if king takes b4, knight d3 check, and if king a4, bishop c2, and now knight d3 check, So if king b2, knight d3, if king a3, b3, and b2 is coming. So nice tricks, and black is winning here. So rook e1 is blunder, so it was trap. Probably even trap in time trouble because it was move 38. But although the question e6 is possible here, but after e6 black can play king d6. And again, rook e1 is impossible because b4. At least I hope that this is impossible. I'm not totally sure because king e2. If b3, king a3. If b2, white has e7. Surprisingly, probably this is good for white. But well, this variation is not forcing. After rook e1, black can do something else. Okay, for b4 looks like a good move, but now bishop d5 looks like a stronger move. Black has very good position here. So king b4, Alekhine doesn't want to allow b4. So knight d3 check, king c3. And now Max Euwe took on e5. Interesting position. So king c5 looks like logical as well to prepare b4, but e6, b4, king d2. So white also has a strong pawn, and not so clear what is this. Because e7 is coming. We can consider, however, king d4, e7, c3 check, king e2, bishop c6. But now rook d1 and white is winning. So this is wrong idea. So Euwe just took the pawn, but bishop e8. King c5, bishop b5. Nice trick. And black has no to pass the pawn anymore. If king takes b5, rook e1, of course. So now white pieces are very active. So it's obvious that only white can have chances for win. So we can come back where Max Euwe mistaken. So king c2 from this position. Okay, I explained that many moves wasn't obvious. For example, bishop f5 wasn't obvious. But let's see. Now, again, choice of bishop d3 was interesting. Why not? Probably bishop f3, however, to prevent rook e4. Okay, so bishop f5 looks a little bit slow. I don't know if Alekhine is my favorite player. Capablanca looks like more my favorite player, but of course I respect Alekhine too. He was great. b5 instead of rook e4 on move 27. Here b5. b5, interesting move, yes. Or b6. Because if b5, white can just take the pawn. So probably b6 is better. Now white cannot take 2 times. And b6 looks like very logical move. My game against Kasparov's coach. My game Kasparov's coach. Okay. Yes, b6, I agree. Very logical decision, looks like. Black is protecting pawn on c5 because at the moment white has threat to take on d3 after c takes d3 to take on c5. So b6 I like. And probably black has very good position. White has many hanging pawns and black pieces are very well coordinated. But so probably rook e4 was not the best. Now, okay, g5 was possible, approximately equal endgame in my opinion after g5, but he played this. Now this, king a3, king d7, bishop b3. Okay, all moves are logical, but rook c4, it's important that Alekhine prepared exchange of rooks, and after exchange of rooks, I think white has better chances. King b4, very nice trick, good calculated. King a3, don't understand. King a3, idea to prepare bishop b3 and rook c4, because if now rook c4, black always can play rook d3 check to avoid exchange of rooks. So it's quite deep idea. King a3, bishop b3, and rook c4. He understands that exchange rooks is very useful for him in this position. So it's very deep move. Okay, probably black can do something better now. It's a question, of course, but what exactly? Because if in some variation white e pawn can be dangerous. For example, if rook d2, rook e1, immediately e6 I afraid bishop d5 because rook a2 is mating threat, but probably rook e1 is possible. Also, who knows? For example, bishop c6. If e6, again bishop d5. So rook a3 is mating threat. So king a4 is only move for white. Uh, 37, bishop d5. Here bishop d5. Here bishop d5 is idea. It's not good because bishop e8 check and taking b5. Well, so let's come back. Rook e1, bishop c6, e5, bishop d5, king a4 is only move, but probably it is good one, or maybe not. Rook a2, black has king b5. If rook a3, b5 is coming, black is winning. So king a4, and now at least bishop c6. It's draw. Probably black. So this is at least draw. So probably rook d2 was correct idea to avoid exchange of rooks. but very likely that players could be in time trouble. So in time trouble, Euwe could afraid some tricks with e6, e7. King a3, b5 in which moment? Here b5, no, b5 not possible. If you mean here, rook takes c5. So I like rook d2. Idea to avoid exchange of rooks. Rook e1, rook e3 also possible, however. Maybe rook e3, bishop c6, e6, bishop d5. Again, white has some problem with mate. Okay, rook a1 is possible to play. But at the moment, e7 is not threat, so black has time to prepare something. Maybe even b5 is possible. If, for example, bishop g8, knight e2 is possible to prepare b4 and knight c3. Sorry, it's not possible because knight c3, rook takes c3. So, okay, so bishop g8. What should black play here? So white wants to play b7. Okay, but at least black has perpetual check. So rook d2 was very interesting and very logical idea, positional idea to avoid exchange of rooks. Of course, white can play h4. Okay, h4, h4, h6. What now? After bishop g8 is proposition king d8. Just a moment. No, king d8. Maybe. e7, king e8 you want to play, and now what white can do? Bishop takes d5, knight takes d5, rook e5. Okay, we can check this, and rook e5. Black has strong pawns, but white has strong contraplay because rook f1 is threat. Okay, so probably king d8 is not bad, but anyway. e7 in which moment? e7. After rook a1, b5, e7 now. e7 possible, but it's question who is better here. King b7, for example. King goes to a6. So I think black is better here. Even I am sure that black is better here because their pawns are very strong. King to e7. Yes, Euwe wanted to bring king on e7, but he missed idea that rook c4 for white is very, very good to exchange rooks. And now it's difficult to prevent this because white has also idea to play rook d1, not only rook c4. So it's very deep idea, king a3 and bishop b3. But in my opinion, so king d7 is natural move, but it looks like rook d2 was much better actually. Try to fight against this plan, not alone. Probably, however, white can play h4, h6 takes, and now play bishop b3 again to prepare rook d1 somehow. But black has no king on d7. Okay, now even maybe king d7 not so bad move, because now if rook d1, black can take and play king e6 and rook e3, however, and black cannot take the pawn, unfortunately, because bishop c2. Okay, but my plan was after bishop b3 just not exchange rooks. So, for example, something like this I want to consider. Knight e2 is proposition. Knight e2. Also possible. But white has several checks. King will go to c6. If rook e3, b5. Yes. Knight e2, interesting move, I agree. But sorry, if rook c4, if rook c4, bishop d3 is your plan. b5 not possible, because rook takes c5 check, but bishop d3 is possible. But okay, it's not totally clear for me. e6, for example. Bishop takes c4, bishop takes c4. What is this? So white has threat, rook takes bishop d5 instead. Here bishop d5. If rook c2, rook d3 is possible. Yes. Yes. Yes, but anyway, yes, bishop d5 is much stronger, I agree. But if rook f2, black has okay, rook f2 probably. Rook d3 is coming. It's very unpleasant for white. Yes, but anyway, you see that rook d2 was much stronger than king d7. Also, king d7 is natural, but after bishop b3, black is in trouble because they cannot avoid exchange of rooks. So white has two threats, rook d1 or rook c4, and black cannot defend against both of them successfully. So king d7 looks like a mistake. Also move is natural, but rook d2 looks like a much stronger attempt. So king d7, bishop b3, and now it's a hard time for Max Euwe. So king c6, rook c4, but okay, king b4, very good played by Alekhine. Bishop takes b5, but okay, so white has only 3 pawns, and black can try to take on g4 somehow. Bishop d3. So after bishop d3, white has no choice. Rook e1 is only move here. It's obvious, because two pieces are hanging. And now after knight f3, rook e3. Again, only move, but good enough for white with winning chances. For example, if this, this rook f5 is possible, then take on g5. It's winning for white. Ever played knight g6, so it looks like white has excellent winning chances here. Objectively, white should win here. So, king b5 is proposition. King b5, rook e1, knight takes g4, rook takes e4. And now, if knight takes h2, rook e5 check, and rook takes g5. It's, okay, maybe black has draw, but it's quite unpleasant for them. But how Euwe managed draw? I don't know. So it looks like losing position for black because white has exchange up and very good coordination of pieces. So I'm really surprised that Euwe managed made draw here. So bishop a6. It's artificial. And what to do? Knight f4 is only a logical attempt with idea if rook e5, knight e5, king d2, d4, and then c3 coming. Okay, now probably black has contraplay, but white don't need such a complication. Simple bishop f5, and it looks like white is just winning here. I don't see how black can survive. If knight d5, just king d2, and black has no contraplay anymore, because if king d3, white can just take, and now many good moves are possible. For example, rook e6 looks like totally enough for win the game, because black has too many weaknesses and no contraplay. White rook is very active, so white will attack pawn. Yes, so bishop d7, it looks like totally winning position for white. So I think white should win here. And it was already move 33, so it was no time trouble anymore. So it's very strange how Euwe survive. Okay, bishop a6, artificial move. So knight f4, now black has some ideas. Also, for example, here bishop is very bad on a6 because after rook takes g5, c3. With bishop d7, okay, we can consider also here same line. Bishop f5 certainly is strong and much more practical, but maybe even here is possible to play for white. Okay, it's strange choice, I agree, but maybe even this is not happiness for black, because what to do? So knight f4 or knight b4. There are two possibilities, but okay, bishop a4. Okay, now black pieces are active, but I'm not sure that they can create concrete threats, and probably white can slowly win as well. Okay, bishop g6 is possible. Knight a2, king d1, and this is nothing. Maybe bishop g6 to prepare knight d3 somehow, but anyway, it looks like white should win gradually in this position. But okay, here white need to be careful, but after practical move bishop f5, so I don't see special difficulties for white because black has no contraplay. So in my opinion, white should just win this position. So, but bishop a6, very strange move, knight f4, and now black has contraplay. So knight d5, king d4 is coming. So bishop b7, okay, logical idea to prevent knight d5, but check, and knight d4. So now king is ready to go to b4. Rook e7 played Alekhine. Problem also for white that after bishop e3 there is no threat to take on d3. For example, black can play this, and if bishop takes d3, knight f3 check is coming. So this is big problem for white in this position. Okay, maybe it was possible to play rook e5 and just take, but now bishop g6 is unpleasant and c3 is coming. So bishop a6 certainly was a bad move from Alekhine. After knight f4, situation is quite unclear. Yes, rook e8 is possible, but knight d5 and king d4 is coming, and then black has threats, c3. So at least if white can play for win here, it's not easy. So after bishop d7, everything is easy, and this move is very natural. Yeah, bishop a6. I don't know what he missed. Probably he missed idea knight e2, knight d4. I don't know. Okay, so knight d4. Okay, let's check what to play. Well, probably again white can try to utilize bishop on this diagonal. Bishop e4, and if king b4, probably just rook e3 to prepare bishop d3, avoid fork. But sorry, I see. No. My idea was to play this and trap the knight, but knight d3 is coming. So sorry, it's okay. So bishop e4, if king b4, rook e3 maybe is possible, or yes, rook. But now also knight c2 is nice trick. Knight c2 is very strong. And white is losing exchange. So how tricky was Euwe? We can see in Euwe in action. So bishop e4 doesn't work because knight c2. So maybe, I see idea. Probably rook e3 was better to start. Or even check. Maybe even check. If king b4, but not take on e5, but play bishop e4 here. Same idea. For white is very important to exchange bishops. Because without bishops, black has no strong threats. So probably this was correct idea. Yes, at the moment white cannot take on d3, but okay. Okay, probably another move with rook, not rook e5, rook somewhere. Rook e7 or rook e7, okay. Maybe rook e7 is better. If king b4, now bishop e4. So there are no any fork anymore. And white is attacking a7 pawn, and also they want to but now, however, black can just take on knight f3 and take on h2. Here it's not so clear how white can win this. Because if king will go to catch knight, black has contraplay. King b3, c3, c2 is coming. So it's not clear. Okay, rook e7, king b4. But okay, what is threat of black? Probably black has no strong threats. Okay, if I just play a6, what is my problem? Bishop g6 probably, and c3. But after bishop g6, I have already bishop e4. And now my pawn is much stronger on a6. And the same idea, I think, doesn't work because, okay, maybe it works, however, but I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe white cannot win here. Because black is taken on h2. Maybe c3 before. Yes, c3 is possible, but if c3, white can go somewhere. King d3, for example. And black has no idea anymore, knight f3 and knight takes h2. But I don't see how to win here. Takes, and knight f3 and knight takes h2. So maybe this is not winning at all. Or winning. Maybe it's winning. King e2, if knight takes h2, king f2 now. White wants to play king g2. So king b3 is only contraplay. But my idea was to play rook e7 immediately, to take the pawn. If c3, rook takes a7. If knight takes g4, king g3. Again, if c3, I'm taking on a7. And, probably it's winning. Or rook e7 without king f2. Rook e7, I'm not agree because king b5. And after rook takes h7, knight takes g4. I am not sure that white can win this. It looks like draw, by the way. Because if rook a8, king b6. So king f2 is correct idea. I'm preparing king g2. So only after king b3, I'm playing rook e7. Not king g2 because c3 now. But rook e7 here, and this looks like winning. But okay, it's quite complicated variation, but still I have feelings that white should win this position if they will play if they will play best moves, but it's we can see that this is very far from easy. So Alekhine played rook e7. After rook g7, king b5. How? You mean this line? Knight takes h2, Rook e7, rook e7, you mean? Rook e7 is draw, king b5, and knight takes g4. And I think this is just draw because black wants knight e5, not knight e5 because rook e7. So king b6 they want. During the game, okay, it's difficult. I need to rook g7, king takes a6. It's immediately draw. If rook takes g5, knight f6, so white cannot catch the knight. Without pawn h7, yes, white is winning. But pawn h7. Okay, during the game, it's I agree, it's a quite difficult task, but Alekhine could avoid this work with bishop d7 and bishop f5. But he played, so he played now bishop e4, bad move. So a6 was excellent chance for win, in my opinion. So probably he's still winning after a6. But he played bishop e4 and now Euwe took and knight f3. He's using same idea. So this, king f2 and simply a6. Now it's another story. Bishop b1 instead of bishop g6 after a6. Bishop b1. Okay, let's consider it. But what is your idea if I just play bishop e4? I don't understand your idea. If, for example, c3, king c1. If c2, I just can play king b2, and black has no. Okay, c3, king c1 I played. Probably you can just take and king c4, but rook e7. It should be winning. I think it is winning. So a6 was excellent chance to win in this position. But after bishop e4, Euwe realized this idea and play a6. And now we can see that white cannot attack his knight because of this. Or maybe even knight takes g4 is possible. If rook takes g4, king b3. No, king f2, c3, king e2, and white is on time. So knight takes g4 not possible. So after king g2, this is only move, but white can play this. Okay, but probably this is draw. Because black can just take on g4. If rook takes, king b4, this is draw. So very tricky, very, very tricky. What about a6 for white instead of king f2? Here a6. Let's see. But king b5 is possible. But rook e5 and then rook takes g5 probably. Maybe you are right. But I'm not sure that this is winning. But okay, at least g7. Okay, a6. Maybe a6 was stronger. Yes, because king b3 not possible. Yes. king f2 instead of rook e5. Ah, here king f2, no, king f2 c3. And white cannot catch the knight because c2 is coming. Yes, rook a5, rook e5. Yes, a6 is correct because king b3 not possible. So, okay, bishop he played, a took, king e2 he played. Also king c2, also after knight takes h2, again a6, the same ideas. If king b5, rook e5, and white still have good winning chances. Yes, you are totally right, a6 was strong. Yes, but maybe even stronger. Yes, yes, white still have, but king f2 he played now a6, very smart move, probably just missed this move. Now probably white cannot win anymore, because if king g2, king b3, king h2, c3, just on time. Probably at a6 in his calculation. h6, where h6? a6. Ah, after 15, a6, h6 here. Maybe. Logical question, I agree. But what about king f2? If king b3, I have rook e7. Takes, king goes somewhere, king g3. Or king f3 even. I want to attack the knight. Not allowed to play c3 or king b4. And then I will take on a7. So very close to win. Looks like, at least. I don't see how black can make draw here. Yes, a6 very nice, and now c3, where c3? Where c3? If c3, I can just take on here. And white is winning. Because rook c7 is coming and a7. Or rook b7, check firstly. Okay, so king f2 was mistake. So yes. And now a4, just in time. So fantastic defense for Euwe. Great fight. King c3, and this is draw because white cannot defend his own his only pawn from exchange. So incredible fight. So after very bad opening, Alekhine outplayed his opponent. So although after opening, Euwe was much better, but later he missed excellent winning chances. Okay, so now game 16. Quite a long game. So Alekhine is black, and he won with black. Also, in previous game he suffered a lot with black pieces from the opening. But in game 16 he won, and in game 18, which I already showed, he equalized easily in English opening c4 e5. So Now we will consider game 16. Alekhine is black, so I will flip the board. So bishop f5. Okay, knight c3 is a modern line. If e6, knight h4. If black wants to avoid this line, a6 also possible, reasonable alternative. Because now if knight h4, black can play bishop c8 back. Many games was played. Magnus Carlsen even played several times bishop e2 and after h6 bishop d3. Okay. It's also possible, but not necessary. I played bishop d2 against Magnus Carlsen after a6. I played bishop d2 after e6, knight h4, which looks like more natural in my opinion. But okay, so c takes d5, c takes d5, knight c3, e6, queen b3 played Max Euwe, modern theory. Okay, knight e5 is possible, but black has very good compensation after knight fd7, queen b3, knight takes e5, queen takes b7, knight d7, and rook b8. If queen takes a7, bishop c5, and then castle. So this is good for black. So queen b3, queen c8 played Alekhine. Strong, according to modern theory, queen c7 is stronger, and then knight c6 is coming, and black is okay here. Why its idea was of Carlsen? Because if play immediately bishop d3, black has bishop g6, so he wanted to avoid this. It was first idea. Another idea was that it's a more deep idea. It's very simple idea. So with pawn on h7, black has bishop g6 with pawn on h6, black has to take on d3. But another idea in this type of position, we can imagine this. So, for example, something like this. Yesterday, I already showed one of the possible traps. For example, if white is playing this, bishop e7, if e4 now is very bad move because black has knight c5. After d takes c5, d takes e4, and black is much better here. But of course, white can easily avoid this to play rook fd1 firstly, or rook ad1, and in next move to play e4. But well, another idea is, for example, we can play some move, bishop b4, bishop d2, castle. Now it's important that pawn on a6 because knight takes d5 is not winning. Bishop d2. Now if image that pawn on a7, d takes c6, winning the pawn. But now d takes c6 is impossible because black will go bishop a5 and rook a7. So positional idea of Carlsen was that, for example, in future, now knight bd7 is not possible because knight takes d5. It's always necessary to follow. So, for example, we can imagine something, some structure like this. Okay, not necessary move, but you can see it. So this type of position. It was game between Carlsen and Nakamura, but with pawn on h6. Yes, and Carlsen, yes, I think bishop e2, h6, bishop d3 was whole preparation. And in this type of position, big problem for black if they have pawn on h6, because if they have pawn on h7, black has plan f5, rook f6, rook h6 to start attack against king. But with h6, h6 square is occupied, and rook f6, rook h6 not exist like plan. So this is another point of idea of Magnus, but actually it's nothing special. So I remember it was game Carlsen Mamedov. Mamedov played bishop b2, bishop d4, he played castle, and now rook fd1, and Mamedov played bishop a5, something like this. And somewhere Carlsen played b4, but maybe not here. Unfortunately, I don't remember, but I remember that in some moment Magnus played b4, and instead of taking on b4, black could just play bishop c7 with comfortable position. No, before now bishop takes b4. So Magnus played something else, but unfortunately I don't remember exactly what, but easy to check. Well, but come back to Alekhine and Euwe. So takes, knight c3, e6, queen b3. I have explained that queen c7 is stronger than queen c8, but Alekhine played queen c8. Bishop d2 played Euwe. Okay, it's natural plan, but another very standard idea in this position to play knight h4, exchange this bishop. And white is slightly better, and only after exchange the bishop, white can prepare bishop d2, rook c1. So bishop d2, knight c6, rook c1, and also now knight h4 is possible. So white has these possibilities, but Max Euwe played bishop b5, direct plan, also possible, queen d8. So but now important that knight h4 is too late, because knight e4 is coming. And after knight takes f5, knight takes d2. So at the moment white cannot realize same. But who knows? However, knight takes e4 is possible. I see if bishop takes e4, f3 is coming, and probably is still good for white. If bishop h4, just take on c6. Okay, complicated position, but looks like promising for white. So maybe even here knight h4 was possible, but it looks like Max Euwe doesn't want to play knight h4 at all, or probably in that time this idea was not so popular in Slav defense. Okay, so what can I say about this position? It looks like white has some pressure in queen's flank, but how to play? So Alekhine played queen d8, so he is ready to play knight a5. Of course, immediately knight a5 was not possible because of this. So knight a5 was mistake. So Alekhine played tricky line queen d8. But okay, so Euwe played knight a4. I don't know if it's really necessary, or it's possible to consider just take firstly, and only now knight a4. Probably it was more precise somehow. And what to do? If rook b8, for example, just queen queen c3 may be possible, or queen d1. Okay, queen d1 looks like safer choice, because queen cannot be attacked, and white wants to play knight e5, or just wants yes, we are considering bishop takes c6, knight a4. Probably it was the best idea here. Knight e4 immediately is possible. Now if rook takes c6, rook b8 can be compensation for black, but now bishop b4 I like. Positional idea. Although after rook b8 black pieces are quite active, so maybe they have contraplay, because where will go queen If queen d1, bishop g4 is unpleasant, for example. So knight e4, black has serious contraplay. If rook c6, rook b8, okay, we can continue this. White has extra pawn, but somehow their pieces are hanging. Okay, black can play something like bishop d6, so it's promising compensation for black. So Euwe wanted to, yes, bishop g4 is idea, yes. So, okay, but what else? Queen d8. Yes, knight h4 was a reasonable idea, as I explained it already. But, okay, this is position is complicated. So this is very reasonable idea. But also black can consider bishop g4 and bishop h5 later. So. Okay, but so Euwe decide not to play, not to take on c6. But maybe also take on c6 and knight e5. But rook b8 is coming, so this is not so pleasant. Here knight a5 maybe also possible, but I'm not sure that knight is so good on a5 if I play queen a4. Somewhere knight takes d5 can be threat. Okay, but maybe bishop g4 is possible. Okay, so yes, sometimes knight a5. Okay, so queen d8, main idea of queen d8 was to prepare knight a5, that's true. And if takes and knight e5, rook b8 is important, and black will take on b2 with quite a strong contraplay. Yes, it looks good for white, for black, because rook on a2 will be extremely active. So Max Euwe decide to play knight a4. Okay, looks like normal move, but we can consider alternatives. For example, this maybe can be alternative, because now if knight a5, queen a4 is unpleasant somehow. a6 doesn't work because bishop takes a5 and bishop takes d8 and white wins the piece. So knight e2. If, for example, rook c8, white can take on c6 and probably bishop b4. Okay, maybe it's not so obvious, but we can consider this. So this bishop b4 idea. Anyway, rook b8 probably. Black has contraplay, so takes again. White cannot protect b2 pawn, and black is at least not worse. Okay, so rook c8. But okay, after rook c8, white can do something else. For example, knight g3. Queen b6 after knight e2. There is proposition. Maybe. Yes, maybe it's possible, but well, again, I can play knight g6. Okay, I can take on c6 and knight e5 as well, probably, but black will play c5. Yes, queen b6 is possible as well. Yes, knight g3, bishop g6. Yes, queen b6 is also possible, yes. Okay, but let's see. So knight a4, and I'm not sure this is best move, but okay, it's complicated position. So queen d8 is quite strong move, I need to admit. Also queen a4, but queen a4, queen b6. What are you looking at position? I'm looking sometimes at the window. There is darkness. Knight a4, knight a5. Bishop takes a5. Okay, what alternative? Queen c3 probably was alternative. And what is this? a6 simply possible. Queen a4, queen b6, knight e2, rook f8. Now a6 is good for black. Okay, so if queen d1, again a6 is possible. If bishop e2, okay, probably knight c4. And black cannot take twice because b5 is coming. Okay, so Euwe took, but now black has two bishops advantage, at least for one move. So bishop takes c5, he took. Probably was possible just play rook b8. Try to prepare rook f8. This position looks like normal for black, but probably for white is normal as well. Okay, Alekhine took on c5, and Max Euwe decided to change structures. So rook takes c5 was solid move, and position is it looks like equal. Black can play knight e4, or black can play rook fc8. Just looks like equal position. For example, if knight e4, rook c1, rook c8, bishop d3, position is pretty drawish here. Or rook fc8 immediately, okay, takes this. Knight d2 where? Here knight d2, just knight takes d2. Black has nothing. Maybe possible just take here. After knight d2, maybe even possible take, and take on b7. This is probably also good for white. So knight d2 doesn't work. So after rook takes 5, position looks like quite drawish, but Euwe took with pawn, so he's playing for win. So he doesn't want to agree with draw. So rook takes c5, very likely draw, but he took with pawn. Now game is much more complicated. So knight a4, played Alekhine. So he is fighting against c5 pawn. He wants to attack. And also he is fighting with... Sorry, rook c5 and bishop c6. I miss bishop c6. Yes, I totally missed this. Thank you. Yes, this is big trouble. So black should play knight e4. Yes, black should play knight e4, rook this, and now rook c8 on knight d6 immediately. Okay, so you are right. So bishop c6 is strong. So rook fc8 is mistake. I will try to be careful. Bishop c6 is strong. Okay, so but anyway, after knight e4, correct move, it's drawish position. After a6, black is slightly better. Where black is slightly better? Blitz. Okay, I'm not playing blitz here, so d takes c5 played. Max Euwe. So d takes c5 is very ambitious play, actually. So after rook takes c5, it's drawish, but now it's complicated game. And knight e4 is logical because white wants to play knight d4, rook c6, queen b6. Okay, so knight e4 is logical because black is fighting against knight d4. Now, if knight d4, knight d2 is coming. So it's important idea. So Max Euwe played queen a4. Black is prepared to play rook fc8 now and attack the pawn. So queen a4 he played, takes, rook fc8. He immediately attacking the pawn. And Max Euwe played c6. It's question if c6 was really necessary. But this is tricky position. For example, if b4, a5 is possible. And if c6, black has b5. And after bishop takes b5, a takes b4, and knight c3 is coming, which is completely, which is very unpleasant for white. Okay, probably white is not losing after rook b1 and rook takes b4. But here black has knight b5 and bishop d3, and they are winning exchange. So probably it's. So this is real pro. Okay, so after knight e4. Now a6 is threat already, and knight takes c5 after bishop moving. So queen e4 is more or less forced. Although probably white has compensation after knight d4. Knight d2, I mean queen c3, takes, this, and takes on f5. But, so, okay, but objectively black is better, although white has chances for draw. So queen a4 takes rook c8. So b4 doesn't work, as I explained it. So c6 he played. B takes c6, bishop takes c6, rook b8. And now he played knight d4. This is, I'm not totally understand. So what was the reason to give a pawn? So why not play just b3? Exchange bishop with the knight. Okay, it's very depend of concrete position. So b3 looks like normal move, and to prepare knight d4 and f3. So if, for example, black is playing king here, knight d4, bishop g6, f3, totally normal position for white. So I don't see special reason why not play b3 here. Okay, I'm not claiming that white is better, but at least there is no any danger for white in this position. So knight d4 and f3, very simple plan. What? So b3 was rook c7. Maybe good. So after this, rook bc8. Yes, maybe this was a reason, but what is this? b4 is possible because black bishop is attacked, so black cannot play e5 immediately. Bishop g6, b5. Maybe knight d6. But if knight d6, rook c5 is coming. And then rook fc1 somehow. Okay, it's not so clear. Maybe this is good idea. Bishop d3 somehow, and then bishop c4. So probably, yes, rook c7 is correct. White has some tactical problems, so it's not totally easy. Okay, maybe it works, but it requires good calculations. Also here b4 is, no, before rook takes b4, I cannot take on d5 because after this and e takes d5, there is no mate. So yes, rook c7, I think it was the point why Euwe decided to play. Okay, so this, and after b4, knight d6. Really not so easy for white. But okay, white can play rook fd1 now. So, but now after bishop g6, they cannot push b5 because knight takes b5. And e5 is already threat. a4, e5. And white is losing the piece. So position is very tricky. It looks like simple, but actually is really tricky. Yes, rook c7, thank you. It's a good idea. So rook after b7, so knight d4 played Max Euwe, rook takes b2, knight takes f5, right? Okay. Probably bishop takes d5 was immediately possible. But anyway, black has idea to play knight c3. Probably this is the strongest move here, knight c3 simply. Because other move not create problem for white. Knight c3 is strongest, and still white is suffering somehow because knight on c3 it's really strong. So Max Euwe took on f5, took on d5, knight c3. Now white is in trouble because knight is very strong on c3. Hello, hello. Is it everything okay? So we can continue. You can you hear me and see me? Good. So we can continue. So now we see that Euwe in trouble because knight on c3 is very to was and just g6. Black is not hurry. Black has very strong position here. Rook c5. I'm not sure that rook c5 was the strongest move. Probably it was reason to make some prophylactic, something like this. Because if f3 e4, idea to prepare take on e4 and to play f6. For example, f3, black can play rook c7. If e4, just take and play f6. But okay, so he played this, f3, a5, e4, a4, bishop d5. Also black has advantage, but it's not so easy to win. Rook b5 he played. So, h3, king g7, rook c2. I don't know if it's the best for both. But anyway, white is suffering here. So knight takes d5. Finally, he took rook takes d5. So black has pawn up position. Rook takes d5. Rook takes d5. And now d2 is threat. I'm not sure that this is draw because white rook is very passive. So it looks like excellent chances. For example, after rook f2, black can play this, and then rook d3, rook a3, and then go to h4 with king. So it looks like very, very dangerous endgame. Okay, maybe it's possible to play something like this. Maybe this is drawish, but I'm not sure with pawn on f3. Okay, so it's question, but by intuition, I think black has more chances to win than white has chances to draw. But it's really complicated. Maybe black can start immediately. King f6, king g5. Okay, he played king f6, rook e2. So rook e2, idea to have rook e7 probably if black plays king g5. But now very logical to play rook d3 and to prepare same plan. For example, if king g1 to play g5 and then rook a3 coming. For example, if white not doing nothing, f4 is coming. And if white stops, rook a3 and then h5, king f5, g4. So very likely black can win this. If white has draw, it's extremely difficult. G4, okay, G4, it's difficult to play here. So I think black has excellent winning chances, but we'll see how they continue. King H2, again, now if F4, rook C4, so now it's not so easy. Okay, king g3, but now g4. Okay, now g5 h4. So white can exchange pawns, so it gives some chances, but even this I'm not sure. So black still have good winning chances. But okay, king e5, rook d2, h6, h4. Alekhine played h5. It's not totally necessary. So f4 is possible, of course. Then to play something. Maybe even f5 is possible, or just h5 and then try to prepare king g7. Okay, it's not so clear that black can win in this position, but they have excellent chances. Also, rook c3, a3 is possible, and then try to activate his king, because white is playing without king. But okay, Alekhine played h5, rook e2. So if king d4, he wants to play king f4 and then try to play king g5, organize contraplay. But big question how strong this contraplay. So maybe king d4 is strong move. After king f4, just f6 to stop white king. And still white in big danger. Okay, maybe g3 also. But g3 even g5. Okay, g5. Many pawns will change, but very difficult to say definitely if it's draw or win for black. So it's complicated endgame. So king d6 he played, king f4, f6, rook c2 he played, king d5 more or less, and now he played g3. So Alekhine played g5. Not necessary. Rook d3, it's totally possible alternative, but the question if it's winning, because rook c8 is coming, so white has some contraplay. He played g5. Ah, yes. King d4. And so it looks like drawish. I remember it was draw. Rook e4. So what is this? So rook g4 is losing because takes king c3. So white cannot play rook g4 because they are losing the king c3. So rook g4 is bad, but king f5 is good. Rook e5, king f4, rook e1. And now, okay, this is a drawish endgame. Certainly, it's draw, but Euwe managed to lost them. How? Okay, we'll see. King f3 looks like normal move. If king d3, and now he played rook b2, very strange move. What is problem after? Okay, what is this? Let me see it. Okay, he played rook b2. Maybe it's good move, but I want to understand. King f2 is losing. King f4 is possible. Okay, he played rook b2. I have feelings that I already analyzed this endgame, but unfortunately I don't remember variations. So I remember conclusions that it was easy draw somewhere, but I don't remember how it was so easy. maybe rook g3 is possible. To prepare king f5. Or to prepare rook a3. Yes, but okay, I remember conclusions that it was totally drawish, but in practical game it's very easy to mistake. So king f5 he played, looks like logical. King f4, rook e1. And now king f3 looks like logical. Okay, rook b2 hardly losing move. So this. Now, what is problem with rook f2? It's a good question. Now black cannot take on f2 because king will go to c2, c1 just in time. So how black can play for win here? Big question. Rook b1 probably to prepare a3 and rook b2 somehow. But okay, rook e2. a3 is stopped. How black can improve position? It's not an easy question. And white is prepared to play king f2 probably in some moment. Somewhere rook e3 check is possible, so it looks like draw. No, I don't see how black can win in this position, frankly speaking. King c3 probably. King this, a3 now to prepare rook b2. But anyway, it looks like pretty drawish. For example, rook d2 I can play. So rook e1, rook e2 doesn't win. So black can win here. Okay, maybe just rook b8 also to prepare rook e8. If d3, king b2, but okay, rook d3, king b2. Is it winning? Maybe this is. Maybe it is winning. Maybe. So this is more or less plan for black. Okay, so rook f2, rook b1, yes. If rook e2, king c3. At least white has no easy way to draw. Okay, king g3 he played, king c3. Okay, now looks like terrible because king is so far. Okay, so this endgame. So king g5. So rook g4 is impossible. King g5 looks like normal move, rook e4. Rook c4. Okay, king f5 looks like normal move. Rook e5, king f4. Maybe king f6 also was not so stupid idea. Why not king f6? I like this move because I still have possibility of checks. In some variation, probably my king will go via e6, d6. And for example, here I can exchange just rooks because it's draw. If black will take a2, I always will go to c2, so this is drawish. This is draw, so after king f6, black cannot play this. So rook g5 is direct set. Probably king f6 was correct move. Yes, I don't see how black can win this because rook g4 is very unpleasant threat. If rook e4, I can go back to f5. Okay, maybe black can. Black cannot try. Or can a3? No, they cannot because rook d2 check. And pawn endgames in draw. So king f6 looks like a drawish position because rook is active and has many options to checks. So rook g3 or rook. So king f4 is dubious move. Rook e1. Okay, doesn't look like losing, but king f3 he played. Maybe also here rook f2 was better to play. With the idea to have rook f3 if a3. Should be draw, but king f3 he played. Now king c. So king f3, king d3. Now rook b2 and okay, so this probably critical moment. So king f2 at the moment white cannot play. Can you hear me well? Good. Rook g4, rook e3 is very unpleasant. So rook f2, rook f1, rook f2 I consider it, but after rook b1, not so easy to understand how to prevent a3 rook b2 plan. Okay, but maybe just king f4 is good idea. Because at the moment a3 is not possible, so without a3 how black can improve his position? Rook b2 wrong, but why wrong? Rook f2 is possible, black cannot take. Pawn endgame is draw because king will go to c1. So rook f2 was correct, and after rook b1, king f4. And now probably still draw. Okay, black can try king c3 probably, but okay. But how black can win at all? For example, if I'm playing this. If rook b2, I will play rook f3. a3 is possible, okay, so, but after a3 I'm just waiting. So king d5. And how black can win here? If rook b2, check. So king b4 only move, but I have many checks, and this is obvious draw. For example, this. Okay, for example, I can play this. So I think after king f4 is still draw. King d5 where? Okay, king d5, rook b2, rook f3, king b4, rook f4, and rook f8, and this is draw. Thank you. So after king f4, I think position still draw. Okay, it's unpleasant to defend such a position, but objectively, I don't see how black can win, because important for white to have flexible rook. So if a3 to have possibility to attack this pawn. Okay, maybe black has plan to play king b4 and then king a3, rook b2, but okay, now white can go with his king quickly. So this, if this rook c2 simply possible. And again, black cannot win, because if they will take a pawn, white will go to c2 with king, or to c1. So king f4 looks like drawish, so rook e2 he played, king c3. But again, white can try same plan to play king f4 simply. Okay, so how he lost? So he played now he played king e3. Okay, king e3. It wasn't the game. So sorry, what was the game? He played king g3. King g3, very strange move he played. So rook f2 looks like was correct, and objectively it's draw. Also, white has difficulties. So king g3, it looks like very bad move. It's illogical move totally. So because now king is so far from. So king c3. But maybe even now it's draw. Okay, we'll see. So rook b7. So what he wants? Okay, rook b7 he played, and okay, rook c8, rook b8, rook a1. So, yes, it's the easiest way to check by tablet. Now it's now it's losing. At least I think that this is losing. Should be losing already. But it's better to check it. But maybe two. Yes, now game is over, because if rook a8, a3 is coming. So king is very bad on e3, so probably. But if king e4, rook e2, yes, so this is losing already. Important king c1 he played, and so this important trick. Rook b3, a3, and he lost. So, good victory by Alexander Alekhine. So I have considered already 19 games of this match. So after game 19, this was game 16. After game 19, which I considered yesterday, Alekhine had score +2, but they played 11 games after this, and finally won this match. So I will come back to this match, but of course not today. Today is too late. I need to go to sleep. Thanks a lot for your attention. Good night.